About that part of the show because they're like, why don't you just stop dancing and singing for 2 minutes of your show? And I say, you know what? It's provocative. It gets the people going. Now, if you're wondering why I resemble Janet Jackson in a Rhythm Nation, I have no straightforward answer for you. But I can assure you, this Sunday, NBA All-Star Weekend serves to show the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference, but I say it's much more than that. I say it's in fact LeBron James versus Kevin Durant, who's in a tight race for the MVP, and up to this point, I must say, at the midway point of the NBA season, I must say I would give the nod to Kevin Durant. Should I not? He's giving you 31 points a game, upward of 7 assists a game, upward of 8 rebounds a game, shooting 51% from the field, right? And then you have LeBron. Great stats, 26 a game. He's giving you upward from 6 assists a game, upward from 6 rebounds a game, 57 from the field. You know, which is a great number. But I would have to say I give the nod to KD, right? Now, I do think LeBron James is a tad bit insecure with all of the attention being taken from him and some of it being on Kevin Durant, right? He makes these statements about Kevin Durant being able to go 16 for 34 or 14 for 38, right? I'm so jealous of Kevin Durant. It's such an underhanded compliment, right? What he really wants to say is, Kevin Durant, I can't run around like you can, chuck up shots, worry about scoring titles because I have championships to be won, right? I have teammates that need to be better, that I have to make better, right? He's saying these things underhandedly, right? And then he also says, well, look at all these shots KD is shooting, and look at my efficiency level. So he's also saying, all of the shots you put up, you have 51%, I'm at 57%, which I'm fine with. 51% is extremely efficient considering the type of shots Kevin Durant shoots. I mean, I'm fine with the quantity because the quality is just as fine. 51 isn't a huge difference from 57, right? Maybe it's comparable to the 5 more points that KD's averaging over LeBron this season. Just maybe. I mean, it's just funny to me. LeBron just wants us to hand him the dunk title, right? Without entering the NBA dunk contest. It seems as, again, some of the attention has come off of LeBron, and we were focusing on the dunk contest, and he makes a homemade video. Media wasn't there. Guys, hold the camera, shoot this for me, where he's making these amazing dunks. She's never going to do in a dunk contest, but again, he wants to remind us. Don't forget who's the best dunker. I don't care who wins this weekend at the dunk contest, I'm the best dunker, right? As he reminds us, listen, I know I just listed 4 guys I will put on Mount Rushmore, but one of those guys that I just finished listing has to make room for me. LeBron, we've been comparing you, which means you've been comparable to Michael Jordan for some time now. Guys actually have that discussion. And if guys can have a serious discussion about you being better than Michael Jordan, we don't need you to remind us that you may be one of the best role players in the game. But again, he's feeling heat from KD. KD's applying the heat. He's on his heels. He looks like a young prize fighter. He's coming up. And LeBron, let me tell you, be very afraid because KD's learning how to play with his team. He's learning how to pass out of double teams, right? He's making all of the right plays. He's saying all of the right things. He's saying the things that made LeBron prior to the 2 championships, right? When LeBron was working. Now he sounds like a guy in the driver's seat who wants to remind everyone whose car it is, right? He's like, all right, all the girls are looking at this guy in the passenger seat, but remember whose car it is, right? Who does that? And, you know, that's how I feel where LeBron is with it right now. And I have to give the nod to KD at the midpoint of the season. Am I saying KD's a better player than LeBron James is? I'm not saying that. I'm saying this year, he's more valuable to his team. He's more valuable, listen to me, to his team this year than LeBron James is, right? And can you imagine KD versus LeBron this weekend. I mean, I do think the game will come down to 1 or 2 possessions. First 3 quarters will be a bunch of mush ball. We know how that go. And then fourth quarter should be a lock it down, grind it out kind of game, right? Everyone on the floor is a great player, right? So what we're going to see is a close game. And imagine it gets down to Kevin Durant versus LeBron James. Who has the last shot? Who has to play D on who? Imagine it came down to that. I mean, I would have to think that will weigh something on who gets chosen for the MVP. I mean, Kevin Durant, MVP of the Western Conference All-Stars. LeBron James, MVP of the Eastern Conference All-Stars. I mean, that's something you would have to throw into the argument, right, when debating whether or not who it is the MVP of the league. And, you know, up to this point, again, I said Kevin Durant. This weekend will be a great game. I do think it'll be a couple of possessions. So, you know, be sure to check it out. Of course, it's the All-Star game. And LeBron, stop being insecure. You're the best player in the world. Kevin Durant, a close second. You've been watching Ray Mitchell. I'm on the couch. And that's my thoughts about LeBron and Kevin Durant this upcoming Sunday. Take it easy.